Alright guys, in this video we're going to be talking about the Lakers' struggles and what is really going on with their season when they were expected to be a lot better at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Oh.
So as we first start talking about the Lakers, we'll first point out some of the basic stats about them. They are the worst record in the Western Conference right now at 11-27. They've just released Andrew Bogut, who maybe wasn't expected to have a huge role, but um, Luke Walton probably thought he was going to have a bigger role because he played such a pivotal role on that Warriors team. He could have been that veteran presence that they might have needed, but as of right now, it kind of seemed like that was a bust opportunity. They have a less than 0.6% chance of making the playoffs, even after LeVar's comments. I know you guys love LeVar so much, and I do too. But after all those comments, and he's still making comments. One a couple days ago that I'll share as we get going. But he's not letting up. He still thinks the Lakers are the best team. He still thinks that LeBron is going to join the Lakers in these upcoming years. But other than that, the 0.6% chance of making the playoffs is not very good. Now, one of the basic problems that we're seeing from this team is that they are a young team trying to figure out some of their groups. And with one of the um, lowest roster continuities in the league. This means that the minutes players were getting last season, these are new players getting these minutes in this upcoming season. So all these new players getting these new minutes, and Coach Walton's really trying to figure out what is going on with this team and how he can actually get some winning out of all these new players that he's tried to put in there in these different spots. Now, this being a very young team, you have some upcoming stars that you know or that you don't know that are actually going to pop out. And one of these guys is Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma is actually averaging the most points on the team so far, averaging 17 points, 6 assists, and him along with Lonzo, KCP, and Brandon Ingram are really logging most of the minutes for this Lakers team. Ingram is averaging, that 16 points, 6 rebounds. Lonzo, 10, 7, and 7, admits all of his struggles that he's gone through. KCP, Randall, off the bench, and Lopez, all averaging around 13 points. And Clarkson averaging 14 points off the bench. He's been a great sixth man for them, at least trying to fit into that role after being a starter these last couple years. But, there's 7 players averaging these double figures, and, that could be good for some teams, but teams such as the Lakers, who are trying to find their identity, at least on defense, they're a high-scoring offense. I'll get into that later in the video, why they're such a high-scoring offense, but they are really struggling on that defensive end, especially in these last 9 games. Now, overall, they are the second worst offensive efficiency, and in addition, they have the fastest pace in the league. Now, some people might think, man, the Warriors got the fastest pace in the league and they are the best. Well, that doesn't really translate unless you have defense. And without defense right now, you have to think that the Lakers might be a little bit too fast for themselves. Luke Walton might be trying to implement a system that is hitting a rough patch right now and just might not actually work out, at least this year and maybe a little bit of next year, in a lot of growing pains trying to find the right people in the right areas on the floor. And as we talk about this 9-game losing streak, they have the second most turnovers, the worst free throw percentage, shooting around 67% in this 9-game stretch, which is very, very bad. 9-game losing streak, I should add. They have the third worst field goal percentage, and they're just playing flat out bad defense. And a couple days ago, you've heard that Brandon Ingram just saying the same thing. They're just not playing hard-nosed defense, which is very tough. And in addition, you have Lonzo Ball, who's been hurt, for the last 6 games, which does take a toll. And he scored 11 a couple nights ago, which wasn't enough for this team, but he got his footing back on track and trying to get his team back on track. Now, all of this chatter, I'm not very surprised that this Lakers team is not falling apart right now, but hitting this rough patch. I think it was inevitable for this young team to hit this patch. I didn't think they would fall this low in this Western Conference which is not as strong possibly as the Eastern Conference, at least in records shown. Right, and Lakers are struggling right around almost the worst team in the whole league based on wins and losses. But you really got to think, what the heck is going on with this team? How can they come back and be the team that everybody thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year, or the team that LeVar Ball and a bunch of these other people wanted it to be, and wanted and put this expectations in our heads at the beginning of the year? So in short terms, you really need to fix this defensive end. One of the main things that I remember hearing from all these different players is, once you get the defensive game down, the offensive game will come. So I think that's the biggest part, is what's going on with these rookies right now. They need to focus in on that defensive end if they want their team to see more success. And I believe that this Lakers team, they can get maybe up to this 11th seed by the end of the year, right around where the Suns are. Suns only have 4 more wins than them. So they can probably get up to that 11th seed, but I do not see them surpassing, the Jazz, the Clippers, right around that 9 and 10 seed, and even thinking about touching the playoffs. Right now, I think they are totally out of the playoffs. They have no chance of coming back. LeVar is still going to keep his antics up, especially with his boys overseas. He's got to do something in LA to try and keep this energy up in LA. But right now, the Lakers seem like they might be done for this year and should start thinking about the pieces that they need for next year if they want to contend for these playoffs. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Check out my other videos. Leave some comments what you guys want to hear next. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Watch some basketball tonight. And hopefully these Lakers get back on track.
Gucci gang. Oh.
That's it right there, T-Neil.
Lil Pump. Yeah. Gucci gang.